Hi guys, welcome back to yet another mystery build. Today we're going to do another uh, single module from Klawndyke. Go over to Klawndyke.com if you want to pick one of these bad boys up. Very simple, very easy to do. Excuse me. So today what we're going to do, we're going to put this together and I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that I've been using. And we're going to kind of deviate from the instructions. Normally, and I do this as practice, is use the blue painter's tape to hold it together while your glue sets up, okay? Because I use plain old straight, I'll show you here, Elmer's white glue. You can use super glue. I kind of don't like that in case something goes sideways, but I am going to reinforce where I put something together. I'm going to just give a quick shot with the hot glue gun today because I can't find my painter's tape, and it'll be fine because you'll never see this. Okay, so first thing I do is open the package. Duh. And we're going to take everything out and go over what we get in the package. I don't know if I've done anything like this before as far as, you know, here's your instructions. I got the cameras oriented different today. Okay, so here we go. So let's see, there we go. So there's your instructions that come with it. Okay, shows you everything that you gotta need to know. I guess I gotta go over here a little bit further. There you go. Oh, so no, because I'm in the picture, unfortunately, in this time. So there's everything that you need to know right there. Very simple construction. So when you see this, you'll understand that, oops, there's a little extra piece. So here is your, oh, got oriented this way. Whoop. With the camera being at a weird angle, it's hard to figure out. There we go. And of course it's upside down. So go this way. There you go. So there's your front piece. Okay, so I see how this works now. My camera's a little bit confused, but it's fine. So there's your front piece. This is your back. Okay, put it this way and bring it. Nope. You get the picture. There is a center piece here. You can either punch it out or leave it in. You're never going to see it, and you never know if you might need it. And I think I will for this build, so I'm going to maybe punch it out and just pitch it because I don't need that. That's an extra. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. And this, of course, is one of your sides. And here is the other side. Okay, so there's your side pieces. Of course, now you got your corners, and they only go in one way, which is, okay, so your flat edge is always on the bottom, okay? So you would set this in, okay, oh, too far, okay. And the thicker end faces in, okay? Let me see if I can show you this. Find it. There it is. Okay, so that thicker end is going to go and face the inside. So it would go like that. Okay, and you can test these out before you put it together, but 99% of the time it is ready to go, and you don't have to do a thing to it. Here we are. Okay, so now you can see how that fits together. Okay, so this would be, well, either your front or your back. We could say it's whatever. But your rounded corner always faces in, okay, to the interior of the module. So what you would do here, ordinarily, if I were putting this module together, now you get these little buggers. These are, well, where am I? There we go. I figure out this camera. Okay, this way. So we're going to cut this open because I'm going to use this here in a second anyway. Okay, so, oh, by the way, this is your top piece. And you could see, you'll see the orientation here in just a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these are all your legs. You get 4 of these, obviously, because you have 4 corners. And these are 4 3D printed feet. Okay, there they are. So they screw on the very end, and I'll show you how they go together when we get to that point. But this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, this little guy right here is what attaches this corner to those legs. Okay, obviously there's no thread inside this because it's just cut piece of wood. So you need some kind of thread. Well, one of these little buggers gets put into here, and it doesn't just press in. You have to twist it because it's, you know, it's self-tapping screw-like device. And there's 2 ways to do this. Okay, so if you have just like a 6mm Allen wrench, you know, that got the little hook to it kind of thing, you would do this step near the end of your build, the basic build, not putting the track on. I'm talking about putting the actual module together. You would do this at the end because I don't care how strong you are, you don't have a lot of torque, okay? But guys like me who do these on a regular, I got one of these bad boys. And there's a lot of torque here. There's a lot of power. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take this little thingy. I don't even know what the technical name is. Somebody knows out there, they could let me know. And I'm going to assemble these. Now here's your kicker, okay? When you assemble one of these, you have to make sure your orientation, because these will face down, okay, towards your tabletop. The screw part will go face up into the module. So that's why if you've already got it put together, it's not an issue. But you have to think ahead, and you have to say, okay, this is the front corner, okay, and you say, you know, the front right, or this is the front left, and you have to make sure your orientations are correct. But like I said, if you just lay them out like I am doing here. I'm going to move that aside because we don't need it. So I lay these 4 pieces out, and now I can't go wrong because these are going to be the top piece, the top of these corners, and I just come up and I screw it up from the bottom, and everything is kosher. Everything is rosy. So I'm going to take this, and let's see if I can find, there we go. I got to hold on to this because it'll jerk. Just a little bit at a time. And now it's installed. So now I have to do that for all 4 corners. Just take this. Oop. Got to put it on there first. That'll work better. Okay. So take this, and we just give it a little twerk. Oh, there we go. That does hurt. Okay. why you gotta do it slow. Okay. Okay, that's together. Okay, so we gotta put this one back on here. And there we go. Okay, so we have that part of the build done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these down and I'm going to set them upside down so that I can, because those will be the orientation when they go in. So if you, well, you can't see them because I got to move this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to put these, oops, there we are. So that's the orientation for everybody. Okay, so we're going to take one of these, and it doesn't matter how you go. If you want to do back and front, and then, so this is, which one is this? Let me see, here we go. Alright, so there's the back, and there's the front. Okay, so what I like to do is I'm going to set this down like this. This is my front. Okay, there's the, oops, come on guy, there you are. Oop. There's the Klawndyke. Okay, so here's my front. I'm going to place it this way so it makes the orientation a little bit easier for everybody to see. Okay, so this is my front. I'm going to flip them over. Boy, this is weird working like this. Alright, so we'll take this, and there's the little do-jigger, so it'll fit like that. So what I'll do is on this corner piece, just in the flat spots, because that's where it makes contact. Oops, oh, here we go. Didn't look like I was getting any glue there. And put some glue, and we're going to put it in place. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here, making sure my orientation is correct. There we go. Alright, just put a little bit of glue here. It doesn't take a lot. And we're going to slide him into there. Now, that will be just fine. So here we got one of our sides. And of course, this long edge, which has no little tabs on it, that's your bottom. So we're going to take it, and we have to fit this tab into here, and the tabs for the corner have to go into these slots as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit, because this is where it makes contact, and okay, so now I'm holding it together. Everything is nice and tight at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to use my cheater. There we go. Hot glue didn't want to come out. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to hold it there for just a second or two to let that hot glue harden. Okay. You can see that. Okay, so you see what I did there. I just put some globs of hot glue while I'm holding this at a very tight 90-degree angle so that it's spot on. And when you get these, now he makes this, I believe it's an MDF material. And Sean, you can correct me sometime. I'm sure you will in the future if I'm wrong. But it's a very thick, straight material. I have since he switched over to this new one. I mean, even with the old ones, it's been perfect. You know, there's no like it's not wavy. It doesn't bow or anything like that. It's right on, spot on, perfect. Okay, so yeah, see now that's hardened up already. So I mean, you could technically cheat and do the whole thing that way. But I just want to use it for reinforcement purposes. All right, so that's one side. Now, we're going to put this aside for a second. Okay, and we're going to do, this is the back piece. Okay, so we're going to take the back piece, and it doesn't matter which side faces out. I'm going to put, just because it's got these markings, even though they're, you know, you're never going to see it because I'm going to paint over this whole thing anyway. I'll just do it, make this the inside, but the orientation is the same. So what I will do, now checking my corners to make sure I have it correct now. So this would be over on this side because the rounded part faces in, remember that. And then this side will go like, oops, try that again. Okay, and it goes this way. See, I almost made a mistake. You almost caught me with one. All right, so we're going to take the glue and glue these boys up here. And we'll just slap that in. Nice and neat. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Gonna have to refill my glue here, getting a little bit low from the last project. Okay. Check my orientation. Everything is good. So I can put that in. Now, we're going to bring our other piece, our side piece in. And I'm going to take a little bit of glue and I'm going to put it on the tab and in between, just like I did on the other side. And it is going to drip a little bit, but it's okay. And this is always the tricky part. There we go. So now I have that corner more or less. There it is. All right, so that's put together. So now I'm going to come in with my little cheating hot glue. Okay. So now we gotta let this sit a second while I hold her square. And everything will get solid here very shortly. Like I said, normally I would just use the blue painter's tape, and that works just as good, if not probably better. But as you can see, this is going pretty quick. Usually, if I'm not doing a video, I've put these together probably about 15-20 minutes tops, and that's with opening packages, putting the legs together, blah blah blah, you know. So yeah, you'll, even if it's your first time doing one of these, if you're taking half an hour, you're really taking your time. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay, so now this is good. So now we can raise this up and until I find the correct spot here. And you gotta swing it this way. There we go. Let's swing it this way. And almost got it, almost got it, almost got it. And we're close enough. Okay. So what we'll do, you can see it from this thing, so it's no big deal. So this is our other side piece. And we are going to look at it and say, okay, so the burn mark from when he made these, and it's not an issue. Like I said, you can easily hide these. So this is going to be our back side right here, and we'll get some glue, and I'll put it on these tabs, or well, excuse me, in between. So put it there, put some here, put some here, and down here we're going to do there, right there, and right there. So it's identical on either end, and that honestly is all you're going to need. So like I said, make sure your flat edge is oriented the same, which it isn't. No, it is. Okay, so this is probably your trickiest part in this whole build, is getting this last piece to align. And I don't normally work at this angle, but it's okay because we're going to get it done. And there we go. Yeah, once you get them to where they're oriented correctly, you should get it to go. Okay, so now I got to switch angles here. And there we go. Okay, so these last two corners, I need to hot glue to hold it in place. And you can put whatever it is you think you need. Basically, this hot glue isn't your primary for holding this together. The actual white glue is, but I've got it pretty tight and really good here. So I shouldn't really have any issues with it being square at all. So I think that's going to do it for that. Okay, so can you believe we're nearly at the end? Okay, so here's what we got. And it's a little tough to see. So let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so now we can you can see my Mickey Mouse. See my Mickey Mouse. Okay. All right, so here we go. So now time to put the lid on this, if you will. So we're going to take this out and excuse me. Since our hot glue and our white glue is holding everything else together, there's no issues here with it's not moving. Okay, it's fine. Between how tight these are normally and the added fact that we went and put the hot glue inside, we actually have a very tight bond and it's not going to go anywhere. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my cheaters on so that I can see this. And I don't think I'm going to need any hot glue on the inside because everybody else is good to go here. So what I'm going to do is everywhere there's a long edge, okay, not a tab, a long edge on the top here, I'm going to go ahead and put my white glue. Okay, so you can see that. And there we go, we're putting it on there. Just everywhere there is this little long edge. Like I said, not the tabs. Do not do the tabs. Because this is where the two surfaces are going to be making the most contact. Okay, so this is my front, because my Klawndyke is out there. So this is the front and this is the rear. So you just put this in here like so, and work one end in, and then you can come along the edge. Normally it goes very quickly, but it's going to be a little bit stubborn. There we go. Okay, so the back end is in. Now I just need to get this, and it fights you occasionally. But this corner should go. Alright, let me just bring it up this way. Okay, so we gotta look and see what's going on. And sometimes they need a little extra love to push them in. Okay, so got this end, and there we go. And that snapping is normal, so don't let it throw you. Okay. And okay, so we gotta get this corner. This one's a little bit tighter than normal, and it's fine. But there we go. Now we got it. Now she's together. Okay. And that's it. That's it. Fourth pit, it's put together. Now, our last thing that we're going to do, and we're going to cut this video at this point after I get this done, is the legs. So, your legs are like this, okay? Whereas one end is square and the other end is tapered, okay? It's very, very subtle, but you can, if you look at it close enough, you can see. So your tapered end will go here. You can show you on here. Your tapered end is going to go right there inside that, in your legs. So we're going to put that on there. And we're going to do that for all four of these. Okay, you just twist it till it basically stops. And this I would never use a drill or anything power for, because you don't want to break them. Okay, let's be honest, they're just 3D printed. They're not indestructible. Okay. So now you got your four legs. Flip it over, and it doesn't matter where they go. You can just, as far as, well, this one is oriented for this one's oriented. No, it's just put them in. But this is basically all there is to doing one of these. Okay, and I do have the track. I'm just going to push this all the way down because this is how I build them. I build them flat on my work surface. And then I know the legs work, but I don't want them all wonky and uneven and whatever else you want to say. So I'm just gonna, it takes a minute because it's a long screw. There are holes. If you look, and I'll show you as soon as I get these other two legs screwed in. Okay, so I just take it all the way down, and that puts it at or below the surface. It usually goes down all the way with these modules. So when I flip this over, I want to show you that you can adjust the legs with a 6mm hex screw. At least that's what I've been told. I haven't tried it because I usually just scenery over top of them. I don't waste space as far, I mean, and when I get it, and I've taken these to shows, and you're only messing with them one time. Okay, so once they're leveled, does it make it easier? Kind of. But to me, I mean, you do your own thing when it comes to these. But to me, it's just a waste. Okay, so in theory, you're supposed to be able to come down here. Now this is obviously too big, but we can put it in there, and you should be able to raise your legs up and down just using a regular hex key. Okay, but that's it. This is our build. There we go. So what I'll do in our next video, I don't know if anybody has seen it. Of course, my audio cut out on me the one time. But on the triple canyon module, the last triple canyon 2.0, okay, I went over getting track power. Now, I didn't use this setup, and I'm going to use this setup for that video. But I'll go over doing the track power again. Normally what I do is I'll go on the outside rail, not the inside. And the reason I do this is if you go and you look at I can't remember, it's the website for T-Track modules. Okay, they go over, okay, it's got to be so big, you know, it lists the dimensions and all that. The track is so far away from the edge, and there's so much space in between each one. I mean, it goes into detail ad nauseum. Okay, but they also point out, and this is what I've seen at other shows too, is when you're running, okay, normally your outside track is dedicated for DCC input, okay, whereas your inside track could be DCC or DC input. And when I'm running something, if I'm powering something like lights or whatever, I'm going to want a constant power, okay? So I know this DCC is going to be an AC voltage of about 15, 16 volts, give or take, somewhere in there, between 14 and 16 volts. And I know how to deal with that if I need to make something DC and, you know, regulate the power to what I need. So I'm always going to, my go-to is always the outside rail. because I always know no matter where it is on a layout, I'm always going to have DCC and a power that I know is going to be constant. Okay, DC one, who knows? Or it could be DCC. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. Now let me see if I can bring you guys in a little bit closer because I want to show you something. Okay, and okay, let's flip it this way. And okay, oh, it's upside down. Okay, so now you can see as I move up closer. There we go. Okay, so you see here we have markings already put down for us, thanks to Mr. Klawndyke. And this tells you exactly what track you're going to need. Now, I have two pieces that are open, and I didn't open the other package yet, so bear with me a second. Let's see if I can get this out for you in a hurry. Okay. Okay. So you need two pieces, as you can see here, two pieces that are, these are Carlos numbers, by the way. So you know exactly what track you need to buy to make this work. So I need two pieces of 20-010. He didn't put a dash, but we already know what that is. And you need two pieces of 20-020. Okay, so the 010 is your long piece, which is 186 millimeters, and your short piece, I don't know if I can remember, 126, 124, 124. They do say, all right, let's see if I can show you. If you look on the inside, okay, it's really small, but this is S124. Okay, so that's what your length is 124. Whereas this one says S186. Okay, so there you go. So they go together with a snap, and then you'll install them with a 1 millimeter overlap on the outside. And when we get to that point, I'll show you how I install my track. But honestly, right now, this one is ready to go. This is done. This part, this inside track is it. Now the other one, we are going to remove the clips here, and I'm going to do a homemade power drop. Now what I could do is I could remove these and get the ones that Kato puts out, and they will fit down through this hole, and you'll never see this hole because, as you can see on this one, the track covers it perfectly. Okay, and you also have little mounting holes for screws if you choose to go that way. I tried it both ways. Actually, I prefer using the crazy glue, super glue, whatever you want to call it. I'm old school, called crazy glue. But that's how I'll eventually install these. Okay, and then that'll be it as far as that goes. So what are we going to do with these? Okay, well, as you've seen from my past videos, whatever, most of my builds have been movie or TV theme oriented. We're going to go a little bit off the beaten track with that one, and we're not going to be doing anything TV or movie oriented. I don't want to give too much away, I want you to come back. I want you to see what we're going to do next. But in our next video, we're going to take care of the track. We're going to install it. And hopefully, by then, the piece that I'm waiting on to do the big reveal will be here. And I'll be able to show you guys exactly what we're going to do. And give you a little bit of clue as to some special effects. Because we're going to be doing something I saw somebody do on a YouTube video, and he didn't do it for T-Track, he did it for just a diorama, and let me tell you what, it looks awesome. So I'm kind of hoping to replicate that, and we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, that's our build for today, so let's bring it back out so you guys can see the whole thing, more or less. Oh, you've seen it. Alright, so that's it, and I will catch you guys next time when we do the track. So, take care.